Hi, my name is Victoria. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if this isn't your first time here. Today, I am just going to be doing a couple different things. I'm going to be going over the books that I am currently reading, and then a few books that are kind of on my immediate to be read list. I also just wanted to say real quickly, thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed so far. I'm so happy that you're here with me and interested in seeing more of my videos. And I also want to say thank you to everyone who has commented and liked on my videos so far. It's encouraging to see that people are enjoying my content, and I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I look forward every time to recording and editing and making thumbnails and then uploading to YouTube and getting to share my thoughts with you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. On to the video. So here are my books that I am currently actively reading. So I think of these three, the one I started reading first is The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. I am not even halfway into this book yet. I'm 118 pages in this book, and I started reading this like a month ago. And it's kind of boring so far. It's taking me a while to read it because it's not that interesting. But I'm trying to finish it because I'm trying to actually finish all the books I start reading. I'm trying really hard to not have a ton of, did not finish books this year. Any other thoughts I have? I mean, it sounds really interesting based off of what it says on the jacket cover. And it's another book set in Russia. It's a fantasy book set in Russia back in I don't know what time period, 1800s Russia with magic. Because I was on a roll with Russian inspired fantasy, I figured I would read this one because I've had it on my shelf for a while. And I had tried to read it before, but didn't make it past the first chapter. So, I mean, I'm proud of myself for making it as far as I have now. I'm on chapter 20. Yeah, I'm on chapter 20. So, we're getting there. Hopefully I'll have it finished soon because I do want to review this book. Although I should probably start taking some notes. Next is Pretty Girls by Karin. I picked up this book because I think it was Kat from Paperback Dreams that I saw did a review on it or mentioned it. I think I could be totally wrong. And I'm pretty sure Cindy from With Cindy did a Goodreads review on it. I could be totally wrong. I could have totally forgotten about that. But I picked it up because I saw it in Barnes & Noble and had seen a couple people review it on BookTube. So I picked it up and I think I've made it a couple chapters in and I'm so bored. I'm so bored. I know I'm only a couple chapters in and it probably gets way more exciting because it is like a thriller. But it's not like the last few books that I had read up to getting to The Crown's Game and Pretty Girls, where even if it was off to a slow start, like The Bear and the Nightingale, I kept reading and was not bored necessarily, but I am just so bored with this book. It seems to have really good reviews though, so I'm hoping it gets better as long as I can motivate myself to read it. Ooh. And then I don't even think which is unusual for me, I don't even think I finished the first chapter of this yet, but I also started reading Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. This one was really interesting to me based off of like the cover. I got it, and this video is not sponsored by Book of the Month, but I got this as one of my books of the month quite a while ago at this point, I think. Oh, it's on the back, of course it is. It was July 2019 that I picked up this book from Book of the Month. I also selected this book because it was a fantasy inspired by Mexican folklore, and I talked about this in my January and February wrap-up, that Black Sun by Rebecca Rowanhorse is inspired by pre-Columbian Americas, and is such an underrepresented era when it comes to fantasy. So that was another reason why I picked this up way back in 2019, which feels like forever ago, and it hasn't even been like 2 years. So that was one of the big reasons why, is because it was a more unique fantasy book than what I was kind of used to seeing or picking up. Okay, and now moving on to my to-be read list, which I have so many books that I need to read on my bookshelves, especially right here next to me on my my crate shelf. I've got quite a few books to read, and also some that I want to reread. So that's where we're at. Anyways, I am going to read the Dragonriders of Pern, which I have the giant compilation of the first three books in this series, which I had bought not realizing was 3 books in the same series in this big volume, but you know what? That's how it is. So I would like to read this. It is gigantic, so it'll probably take me quite a while to get through it. How many pages are we? There's 841 pages in this volume, so it's going to take me a while once I start reading it. Of course, I could just power through it, but we'll see. So that's the first one. Next up is Rebel by Marie Lu. It is number 4 in the Legends series, which it takes place, 10 years after the end of Champion, which the Legends series is the book series that got me into Marie Lu's writing. She is one of my favorite authors. She writes primarily YA, fantasy, sci-fi. I think Legend would be classified as dystopian. That's how I would classify it. When I heard she was writing, or when I heard that this book was going to be released, I was really excited because this was the series that got me interested in her work. So that's one of my to-be-reads, probably the one I'm most excited about. And then I also have another Marie Lu book on my list. It is Warcross, which I have a signed copy because I just happened to find it at Barnes & Noble, which is really exciting for me because, like I said, she's like one of my favorite authors. This one I have had on my bookshelf for a while. It is, I believe, the start of a new series. I don't know. I don't really follow book releases, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not constantly looking for when a new book is coming out from an author. It's basically even authors I really like. it's just something where I stumble across it, either on Twitter or in the bookstore. I'm like, wow, they have a new book out. So that's what happened with me with Warcross, is I wasn't even looking for specifically Marie Lu's books. I was just kind of browsing, and I was like, oh, wow. And then I think this wasn't the first one, like, in the stack on the bookshelf, and I, like, just happened to look and saw it was a signed copy, so I was like, oh, it's fate. It's meant to be. So I think if I had to rank so far my to be read list when I would read them, I would say this would be second after Rebel, and then I don't know, Dragonriders of Pern. I'm a bit intimidated now that I've looked at how many pages there are, so we will see. And finally on this list is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I think I saw this advertised on Instagram, which is why I knew it existed. So, oh, review. Did a little review for it. Nice. Alexandra Bracken. I read the first book in The Darkest Minds back in, I want to say high school. It could have been middle school. I don't remember. And I remember enjoying the book. It wasn't my favorite book. I do remember enjoying it, though. And I mean, I remembered her name because I saw her name on this book, and I was like, oh, that's the Darkest Minds author. So it left some of an impact on me. This one, though, I was intrigued by because, again, it's another fantasy book. And also, it's based on Greek mythology, which is also intriguing to me. That's that. I think ranking-wise, I want to read Rebel, then Warcross, then Lore, and finally the beast that is Dragonriders of Pern. So that's that for this video today. Thank you for clicking, and if you've made it all the way to the end, thank you for sticking through it. Let me know any of your thoughts on any of these books. Like, don't spoil anything for them. Let me know what you thought of them if you've read them. I'm really interested to see if people say anything about the Crowns game, just because it sounds so interesting and I want to love it, but I'm just so bored with it right now. And yeah, so anyways, that's the end of the video. Again, thank you for sticking through to the end if you're still here. I will see you in the next video. Bye.